In my extremely biased opinion, Megalo Season 1 was phenomenal from start to end. I loved everything it had to offer from story, soundtrack, animation, and the writing. It was all brilliant. The story of Season 1 was much more professional. It was about an underground boxer Joe who used to perform in rigged matches for paychecks just so he could survive another day. He absolutely hated doing this and was looking consistently for a challenge, but because of other circumstances, he was never able to do that. I won't spoil the entire season, but the rest of the story shows how he rises up in the ranks of professional boxing. It was a story about rivalries and respect, so when a season 2 was announced, I was very skeptical of how they could top the story of Careless Joe. And the answer I got was a homeless Joe. Season 2 of Megalo Box is very much disconnected from Season 1. It takes place years after the finale of the first story, and there is a lot to unfold here. Now, one thing I want to mention firstly is that I absolutely despise time skips. Whoever came up with the idea of time skips in the first place should be left alone on Mount McKinley to freeze. One absolutely terrible time skip I remember is from Death Note when the first arc concluded and then they introduced Nier. There are very few series that actually managed to pull this off, but not enough. So knowing that there was a time skip for Megalobox Season 2, I was very upset. But now after watching 13 episodes, I actually am a fan. Most stories just don't have anything to present for time skips and want the viewer to believe that nothing major happened during a specific time, which I find very lazy. But Megalobox 2 has a ton of stuff to show. Joe is not the same person we saw at the end of Season 1 finale. He is back in the underground matches and addicted on painkillers. Team Nowhere has disbanded and all of the former members hate Joe for the decisions he made in the past. Nomad is a redemption story. It is a story about second chances and finding a place to belong. And it's not only for Joe but for everyone in his social and professional circle. Plenty of new characters are introduced, and I think the division of time given to it all is perfect. Whether you like or dislike the stories of the supporting cast is completely subjective though. There are some side stories which might not grab your attention, but they are also connected in the main stories in a great way. Many supporting characters return to play some roles in the story as well. I also want to give the dialogue writing massive praise. I think the exposition using the dialogue is the best in any modern day anime. Whenever the characters talk, their voices and dialogues have weight to them, and it is unmatched for me. I can't let the soundtrack of this show slide because my god, it absolutely slaps, especially the opening. I wasn't a big fan of Season 1 opening, it was something I had to get used to, but this new opening is just perfect. I cannot see any other song replace this. The outro is also better than the first one, it's just beautiful. There are noticeable tracks which you can see have similar vibe from Season 1. If Mabanua doesn't win the best OST this year, I will riot. I don't think the animation of either Season 1 or Season 2 ever dropped in quality. I know people can be nitpicky just to zoom into stuff to give crap to animators who aren't being paid enough, but I don't see that the case with Megalobox. The fights are also super crisp and fluid. It is a joy to watch them and they have some big surprises. To say that Megalobox Season 2 is better than Season 1 will be unfair because the stories are very different. If you're expecting fights every other episode, then I think you will be very disappointed. This is less focused on the fights and more on the purpose behind them. There is a lot of talking going on, and again, the writing and dialogue of this show are beautiful. I can easily say that this is one of the strongest sequels I have watched to date. I never thought there was a need of a sequel to Megalobox, but here we have it, and Nomad is absolutely brilliant.